What's up, guys? Welcome to Cara's Cucina, YouTube's first and only Emmy-nominated cooking show. I'm Cara Di Falco, and today I am going to be showing you a perfect cookie recipe for the holidays or anytime. We're going to actually make some brown butter chocolate chip cookies. So chocolate chip cookies, you may or may not feel are perfect for the holidays, but let's be honest, there's something that everybody loves. So I just knew I had to do a chocolate chip cookie recipe, and of course I kind of had to add my own flair. So the first obvious thing to me was to do it with some brown butter instead of just some classic softened butter. So in my pan, I have one stick or about a quarter pound of butter. It's just on some medium-low heat. We're gonna melt this down and we're gonna start to let it brown up. So what that means is the milk solids are gonna drop out of the butter, they're gonna cook into the bottom of the pan. You're gonna see it turn this really beautiful golden color. As you're doing it, you're gonna get this great nutty smell off of it. It's gonna kind of start to foam up a little bit like it is here on the edges with the white part there. And then you'll start to see it get a little bit darker. If you can, you wanna try to do this in a stainless steel or a light colored pan so that you can keep an eye on the butter. However, if you have to do it in a non-stick pan, that's fine. You just want to really keep a close eye on it because you don't want it to go so far that it burns. So this is going to be the first step to our cookies. And in the meantime, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And then I'll tell you a little bit about our other ingredients. So I'm actually also using, again, I just wanted these cookies to have this really great depth of flavor to them. So I'm using brown sugar instead of regular sugar. We're gonna actually throw a little bit of cinnamon in there because who doesn't love cinnamon? The other thing that I'm using that really impacts the flavor is vanilla bean paste. And so a little bit different than vanilla extract because this is not made with alcohol. This is actually made with sugar and sugar syrup and just true vanilla beans. So you'll actually see the little specks in there, which I really enjoy. And I'm using a lot of it. This is a full tablespoon, which would normally go into a recipe probably about double this size. But again, just really wanted these cookies to have great flavor, and this is really a contributing factor. And then I'm also adding in some walnuts. You can omit those if you prefer, and of course chocolate chips, and I'm actually using the little mini chips. I'm gonna give you guys a measurement on the chips, but here's the deal with chocolate chip cookies. I know people love to have them their own way. Everything from just the cookie with no chip in it at all, I know people like that, to overloaded with chips, which is more my style. So I'm gonna say add in about a half cup, start there, and then we'll see how many chips it really needs. So we're gonna get back to our brown butter. We can see it's starting to foam, starting to cook up a little bit. But we do want it to continue cooking till it gets that nice golden color. So this is gonna take a few more minutes. Okay, so now we can see all those little granules in our butter that cooked. They turned that nice golden brown color. This smells amazing, let me tell you what. And so we are gonna add our butter to our brown sugar. And what this is gonna do is the hot butter is actually gonna melt the sugar, which is what we want it to do. Especially with brown sugar, because brown sugar sometimes, especially if it's been hanging out in your pantry for a little while, sometimes it gets a little hard, it gets a little lumpy, so the warm butter really kind of helps make it nice and easy to get it all blended in. So we're gonna get all of this out of here. And then we're gonna mix this all together. Yeah, and we can see that nice hot butter just breaking up these pieces, super easy. We're gonna get everything nice and smooth in here. And then from here, we're gonna build our cookie batter. To our sugar and butter, we're gonna add in our vanilla. Make sure we get all of that deliciousness out of there. And we do just wanna wait a little bit until your bowl cools down to add our egg, because we don't wanna cook the egg right away. Don't want scrambled eggs in our cookies, that'd be a little weird. We're gonna get this in and get this mixed up. And if you just kind of keep stirring it a little, it'll just take about 2 minutes till it cools down enough that it won't cook your egg. After a few minutes of kind of stirring and letting this cool down, as I check the bottom of the bowl, it's certainly still warm, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be cooking anything at the moment. If you're at all unsure, just let it cool off a little bit longer. But we're gonna add in our egg, get that mixed in. And from here, we can start adding in our dry ingredients. So I've got baking soda, that little bit of cinnamon, and now we're gonna start adding in our flour. Now that we have our dough all incorporated, now we're gonna add in the goodies. So for me, the best part of a chocolate chip cookie is the chocolate chip. So I'm gonna give you an amount. I'm gonna say about a half cup, but because I love chocolate, I'm probably a little heavy-handed with my chips. But I actually even used to have a friend when we were kids. He used to have his mom make chocolate chip cookies with no chips at all because he just liked the cookie portion of it. So like all things that we do here, it's really up to you. I'm also adding in some walnuts, some chopped walnuts, really just roughly chopped. I'm actually breaking some of the pieces up. But again, if you don't like walnuts or you have an allergy, don't add them in, or use a different nut. Anything will go here. So again, it's entirely up to you. But we're just gonna kind of get these folded into our dough. And I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. My cookie sheet's ready to roll. Doesn't need to be sprayed or prepped in any way. And once we get these in, I find with these cookies, this dough is actually a little bit crumbly. I like a cakey cookie, so there's a fair amount of flour in here. And they're not gonna spread that much. They're gonna kind of stay like nice and plump. So when I form them, really what I'm gonna do is just take a spoonful of dough and roll it almost like a meatball in my hand and then put it on the cookie sheet. So we're just gonna take a spoonful of dough, just roll it into a ball. Let the heat of your hands warm it up a little bit. That's what's also gonna help kind of keep it together. And then we're just gonna put these onto our cookie sheet. Bake your cookies at 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes or just until the bottoms are nice and golden brown. Serve your cookies as part of a holiday platter or just give them away. I think cookies make a great Christmas gift. You can find all of my Christmas cookie recipes at caradifalco.com right along with these brown butter chocolate chip cookies. You can follow me, Facebook and Instagram at Cara Di Falco. And of course, we do still have tickets left for my trip to Italy. Hey, makes a great Christmas gift. caradifalco.com/travel. I will see you guys next time. Bon appetit.